Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. It's Wednesday, it's March, so we are doing March Fandom Mayhem. In case you've missed this series so far, this is a month-long weekly collaboration that I do with Weblight Dreams in March. This is our third year doing it, which is why you'll see us calling it Season 3. What we've been doing is every week on Wednesday, we do a No Box Artbox challenge, and we both try to stick to a fan art theme. This week we are doing Card Captors. As usual, I have no idea what Weblight Dreams will be drawing or which box she has picked. It's a surprise to me, just like it's a surprise to you. So first, let's open this up so that we can switch over to the actual artwork part, which is way more interesting to look at. And then I will tell you a little bit more about the two challenges that are going on and talk about the box and all of that good stuff. I am recreating the November 2021 SketchBox. This featured a custom 12-pan set of Karataki Gansaitambi colors. They called it watercolors, and they are little sample pans compared to these. I have picked out 11 of the 12 matching colors, and I have substituted one. I will tell you more about that in a minute. I am using the paper that the basic box got, but we will also talk about what the premium box got. I am using Clairefontaine Paint On mixed media paper in gray. The original box got acrylic fine liners in white and navy. I don't have a navy one, so we're using black. The original box got some watercolor powder in the color Wisteria. I have matched that color as close as possible using an Inktense pencil. And the original box sent a water brush from Karataki, so I have a water brush. I'm using one from Derwent. We have one more week of March Fandom Mayhem after this week. Next week we will be doing Dragon Ball as our fandom prompt. We finally have some fan art to share with you guys. If you guys want to see your fan art up on screen in our videos, share your fan art with us on Instagram or Twitter using the hashtag March Fandom Mayhem. It doesn't have to be from any of the fandoms we're doing this month. It can be absolutely any fan art. You just have to have created it more recently than last year's March Fandom Mayhem, so April of last year onward, and you do have to make a new post with that tag so that we will actually see it. Today I am featuring some art that was shared with us by Christy Smith. She is Christy Smith on YouTube. She shared this with us on Instagram, where she is artsybits_byk, artsybits by K. If you haven't seen Weblight Dreams' video yet this week, go ahead and check her video out after this. And if you are coming over here from her video, thanks for coming over. Hello. If you're new here, I hope that you'll subscribe and join so that you can see what I do next week and all the other cool things I do. And by the way, guys, this happened. Yeah. So excited. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'm really looking forward to this next part of my YouTube journey. I'm going to talk specifically about Card Captors and the piece that I've created after I do the No Box Artbox spiel and talk about the supplies. So, what is No Box Artbox? This is a challenge that I introduced to YouTube in 2018. There are so many reasons to do this challenge. I originally created this challenge so that I could catch up on the art subscription boxes that I had missed before I knew that they were a thing, and these days I keep doing it because I have too many art supplies and not enough spare cash, so I'm not consistently subscribed to anything. I do it here and there, but there are so many other reasons to do the No Box Artbox. You can use it to test the idea of a art subscription box, to do a trial run without actually spending money on it before you subscribe, so that you can get an idea of whether or not subscription boxes are for you. You could do No Box Artbox to try the other brands that you can't afford while you're subscribing to the one that you've currently got. You can do this challenge to get inspiration, to use supplies that you don't normally use. You can do this challenge to re-experience a box that you got in the past. Whatever your reason is, the steps are simple. Step 1, pick any art or craft subscription box service, pick a past month that already shipped, and look up what came in the box. Step 2, match the supplies in the box as close as possible using items you already own. Don't go shopping in order to fulfill a particular challenge. That is not the point. You are allowed to use exact matches from your collection as long as you're not recreating a box that you actually got in the past. If you got the exact box you're doing, then you have to use other supplies, next closest match in your collection. Step 3, make art. Use only the items you've matched, and if the original box had a challenge prompt or theme, try to stick to that. Only add missing essentials such as a pencil or a piece of paper. If you do the No Box Artbox challenge and you share your work anywhere on social media, use the hashtag NoBoxArtbox so that we can all see it. It doesn't have to be a box that I have done before, it can be any box. And if you make a YouTube video, go ahead and send me a message, send me the link so that I can add you to the official playlist for the challenge. I love doing that, guys. I love it when other people do this challenge. It's so much fun. As per usual with all of my Artbox videos, I am going to have all of the pricing information I talk about in the description box down below. SketchBox is an American company, so I will be presenting the MSRP, manufacturer suggested retail price, as they would appear on the card in the actual SketchBox. I will have that converted to Canadian dollars and pounds sterling. I will also do my best to try to find these items at online retailers for those 3 currency regions. I'll come up with an MSRP total for the box, a real world total for the box, we'll calculate the difference, and then we'll run through what you would save based on where you're subscribing from, how long you're subscribing for, which tier you got, and whether we're talking about the MSRP value or the real world shopping value. As I already mentioned, I am doing the November 2021 Sketchbox. Sketchbox comes in 2 tiers, the basic tier and the premium tier. Within a given month, the 2 tiers will be on the same theme. They will have some of the same supplies, but the premium box, it's not only going to have more stuff in it, it might have different brands, higher quality brands, more expensive brands. Sometimes that's great, sometimes it really sucks. I have legitimately subscribed to Sketchbox before at both tiers. Sometimes I loved what I got, sometimes I would really rather have had what came in the other tier at both tiers. Sometimes the basic box was better, sometimes the premium box was better, and it's just luck of the draw if the better box was the one that you got. Basic tier starts at $25 US per box. The premium box starts at $35 US per box. It does get cheaper if you prepay for 3 months at a time or even annually. Shipping is $5 US in the USA, $10 US to Canada, and $15 US worldwide everywhere else that they ship. So we will be using that $15 shipping for the UK region calculations down below. I totally forgot to include it in the unboxing bit, but the first item that both tiers got is the Koh-i-Noor Toisan D'Or Graphite Pencil. They sent the lead weight B. I don't have that one, so I will be using a Koh-i-Noor Hardmut pencil in lead weight B. This pencil has an MSRP of $1.95 US, and you can get that pretty much anywhere else you want to find it cheaper, so this is the price difference between MSRP and real world on this box. It's just a basic pencil, what can I say? The sub-brand, the label that the real box sent is supposed to be more luxurious than the pencil I'm using, but a pencil's a pencil, guys. The next item that everybody got was the Karataki Zig Brush H2O Petite. That is a travel water brush in a round brush tip. This is just your basic water brush, water in the barrel, squeeze it to get water down through the bristles, and you're good to go. That has an MSRP of $4 US. And the final item that absolutely everybody got was a custom watercolor palette. Well, they're calling it a watercolor palette. They're calling it the custom Karataki Zig watercolor palette, MSRP $13.90 US. This is actually Gansai Tambi. This is a Japanese / Far Eastern paint. China, Korea, those kind of countries, they all have a very similar paint. Karataki is a Japanese brand, so this is specifically Karataki Gansai Tambi. Gansai is the type of paint. Everybody compares it to traditional Western watercolors, says it's just Maro Peg. That's not entirely true. There's a lot more that goes into this paint. It doesn't necessarily use gum arabic as the binder, and it usually uses a bunch of other stuff, including animal products. So Gansai is usually not a vegan-friendly product. It does dry down similar to gouache, but it's not matte. It always has a bit of a sheen to it, especially if you apply it really thick. The colors that were included in the custom palette are 20 black, 33 cadmium orange, 35 carmine, 43 cadmium yellow, 44 yellow ochre, 50 malachite, 54 olive green, 56 forest green, 62 turquoise blue, 67 indigo, 71 Indian red, and 906 white gold. I own the big 36 palette of Karataki Gansai Tambi, and I also have their starry colors, pearl colors, and gem colors. And between all of those, I do not have Indian red, so I'm substituting number 10, which is the basic white. Indian red is a very red-toned, medium, earthy brown, and I could have used burnt sienna. That would be the closest in the palette. It's not really that close though, and I can mix the browns I need for this piece. I want a solid white, so I'm using that excuse. I'm replacing it with the white. Now, everybody got at least one Archer and Olive Acrylograph pen. Basic box only got one. They got the white. Premium box got white and navy blue. This is a 0.7mm nib, pump nib acrylic pen, and it's interesting. It's a fine liner pen. They have an MSRP of $5.29 each US. I am replacing this with Poscas. For the white, I do have that size. For black, I don't have that size. I'm using the regular bullet nib type in the PC3M, so this is the 0.9 to 1.3 millimeters, depending on the angle and the pressure and all that. I don't have anything close to a navy blue in an acrylic marker of any nib size, so I am just using black from the Posca. I figure that's close enough. Premium box got a bottle of Color Sparks watercolor powder in the color Wisteria. This has an MSRP of $6 US. If you don't have watercolor powder, what you can do is get any sort of solid water-soluble medium like a watercolor pencil or a watercolor block and shave off powder, and then you have the same thing to start with. I grabbed a Derwent Inktense pencil in the color Thistle. For the paper, the basic box got Clairefontaine Paint On Multi Techniques, which is their mixed media paper. They got the A6 size, 4x6 inches, but otherwise it's exactly the same. I'm using A5 because I got it from Scholarbox, but whatever, right? So this is 250 GSM, it's acid free, it's in the color gray. The A6 pads in the box had 15 sheets. I'm only estimating the MSRP because I can't actually find that size for sale anywhere. It must be custom for SketchBox. I'm estimating it at a value of $4 US. Premium box got an equivalent, but they got the custom Hanemule toned watercolor paper. It's also a 4x6 inch A6, it's also 15 sheets, it's 200 GSM, and it's also gray. That one has an MSRP of $10 US. So the MSRP total for the basic box is $29.14 US. Compared to a month-to-month subscription plus shipping, that's $30 for American customers. That is a very slight loss on the MSRP value, under $1. The subscription cost gets a lot cheaper if you are subscribing for multiple months, so it's a good deal for Americans who have prepaid any amount greater than 1 month at a time. For customers in Canada and in the UK, the basic box is not a good deal. The shipping is just too costly. Even at a year prepaid, you're not saving anything. You are losing on the MSRP value on the basic box. The premium box MSRP total is $46.43 US. Subscribing month to month, an American customer will pay $40 after shipping. So that is a savings of $6.43 on the MSRP price. It's a little bit less on the real world, not a whole lot. And of course, that savings just gets better as you go down the subscription list to yearly subscription. This one does end up being a good deal for Canadian customers on the MSRP value as long as you're prepaying at least 3 months. For customers in the UK, you just barely stop losing money if you're prepaying 12 months. That's one of the problems with SketchBox. If you are overseas, the shipping is just too much. You're not going to recoup your cost. Keep in mind though that this particular box, most of these items I could not find when I was researching. They are rarer items. It is going to be harder to get your hands on these items items without subscribing to something like SketchBox. When you're subscribing to an art box, you're not just getting the items, you are getting the curation, the curated set that is supposed to go together. You're getting the challenge and maybe getting exposed to brands that you've never heard of or don't have access to. So do consider that along with the price. Personally, I don't think that this particular box was worth the price. It's fairly easy to get your hands on Karataki's Gansai Tambi these days. The pencil is way cheaper everywhere I looked, and while it may not be easy to find the exact brands for everything else in this box, nothing in this box is an incredibly unique item. You can find equivalents easily. Moving on, let's talk about Cardcaptors and the piece. So Cardcaptor Sakura is an anime based on a manga by the same name. Cardcaptor Sakura premiered in Japan in 1998. It was dubbed for English and aired in the North American market shortly after that. I really loved this show when it was originally airing. Of course, I watched the English dub. I was in North America. Now, as an adult, looking back, having the access of the internet and worldwide fans, the English dub did us dirty. The character names are so much cooler in the Japanese version. The storyline is way better. The North American market, they tried to make it much more of an action show than it is. They tried to make characters like Lee way more important, and they pulled a Sailor Moon and completely erased any sort of LGBTQIA sort of romances that might be going on there. So for my piece, I did Sakura, of course. By the way, if you hear me saying Sakura when I'm talking about the brand name, I was first introduced to this word and name from Cardcaptors, but from the English dub where they say Sakura. They're putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. I know it's Sakura, but it's hard to break that habit. I apologize. If that has ever bothered you, I apologize. So anyway, my piece, I have Sakura up in front with Kiro, and behind her we have, I believe the English dub's name is Danielle. In the original Japanese, her best friend is Tomoyo, and the character we English-speaking people call Julian is Yukito. I think those names are way better. I'm really disappointed that they dubbed them. Also, Kiro, his full name is Kibros. That's the Japanese version of the Greek Cerberus. He's Cerberus. He's supposed to be that mythical creature. That's so cool. Totally missed that when I was watching the English dub back in the 2000s. If you're not familiar with Cardcaptors, Sakura is, she's a magical girl. She has the power to capture these card entities. Kiro is her guide, but he is one of these cards that she should be capturing technically. Danielle / Tomoyo, she is Sakura's best friend. She's a rich girl. She has a great fashion sense. She films everything that Sakura does as a card captor and puts it online, but somehow Sakura is keeping this all a secret from, like, the general public. Tomoyo also creates different outfits for Sakura to wear for every card that she's capturing. They're all themed. They're always different. I'm partial to the pink outfits, so I did a pink outfit. Julian / Yukito is the older boy that Sakura's always pining after. She has a major crush. In the English dub, he's presented just as her brother Tori's friend? Good friend. In the original Japanese, he does eventually sit Sakura down and have a conversation with her, and he's actually in love with her brother. We never got that in the English dub. I love that storyline. I wish we got that in the English story dub. Like I said, they pulled a Sailor Moon. Sailor Neptune and Sailor Pluto were not cousins, guys. Anyway, in the comments down below, tell me what you think of this piece. Were you a fan of Cardcaptors? Did you know all of that about the English dub versus the original Japanese? Do you feel cheated like I do? Did you get this sketchbox for real? Which tier did you get? What'd you think of it? If you did, tell me what you think of Gansai Tambi paints. Was that your first experience? If you didn't get this box, would you have been interested in this box? Would this have been a good box for you? Don't forget to share your art with us. If you want to see it up on screen, use the hashtag March Fandom Mayhem on Twitter or Instagram. Go ahead and check out Weblight Dreams if you haven't already today. And if you have, well, if you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!